Hello Year 3, this is your English video for Tuesday the 19th of January. Now we're going to carry on looking at what we were looking at yesterday when we planned out our plot structure for our English novel writing for next week. But we're going to be thinking of the different thoughts and the different feelings of the characters in those certain sections. Now I've tried to do this so that we can do it at home. In school we'd normally do it a little bit differently, but that's okay, we can still make do. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to quickly show you the idea and then we'll do it all together, okay? So I've got a thought bubble here and I've also got a heart. Now my heart is for feelings, okay? We always represent hearts for feelings. And our thought bubble here is for what we think the thoughts, okay? So I'm going to go back to what we looked at yesterday. Here we are. And we are going to be looking at the first three sections today. So my first three sections, on my first part, it says, Stanley goes to spend a few weeks of his holidays at his Auntie Susan's house. Auntie Susan lives in the countryside. It's luscious green grass, tall trees, and it's in quite an abandoned area. Okay, so we're going to be thinking about how Stanley might be feeling in that part. Now, you might have done it slightly different. You might have done Emily instead of Stanley. That is absolutely fine. So, how Stanley might be thinking. So, he might be thinking that he wants to go home. Okay. He might want to just go home to his mum. And that's not normal. Most people would, wouldn't they? What else could he be thinking, Year 3? He might be thinking, I'm a bit fed up. So I'm fed up. And we'll put that in there. What else could he be thinking? This is going to be boring. Okay, got a bit of an overlap there. Let's move it on there. Anything else he could be thinking? He might also be thinking that that he wants to go and explore. So wants to explore. So that's some thoughts for the first section. Now we're going to have a look at the second section and how he might be feeling, okay? So first of all, I think he might be feeling a little bit lonely. So I'm going to write lonely in there. He could be feeling sad. He could be quite relieved to be away from home for a little bit of a holiday, a bit of a break. He might be feeling a little bit glum, a little bit down in the dumps. He also might be really, really thinking about the situation and realising how thoughtful and grateful he is for having the opportunity to do this. So, grateful. Right, so we've done the first section already and we've used lots of different words for their thoughts and feelings. So we're going to do the second one now. So let's have a look at the second part. And it says, Stanley falls off a cliff edge and he tumbles into a cave through the roof. He gets to his feet and he explores. He sees lots of tin cans, plastic bottles and recycling all around the cave. So we can have lots of thoughts and lots of feelings on here. The first part I'm going to do is my feelings because I think it will really help us build up those thoughts. So I think he is scared. But a better word for scared is would help if I could spell it, wouldn't it? Petrified. Okay, he might really be petrified. He might be quite worried because he doesn't know what's going to happen next, how he's going to get out. Sometimes when you're in that situation and you don't know what's going on, it might make you feel a little bit anxious. So, anxious. There we go. And another word. He might be a little bit confused. So I'm going to put confused on there. But one of Miss Dunn's favourite words in the whole wide world, instead of saying confused, it's a funny word. And I promise you it is a real word, is discombobulated. He might be feeling a little bit discombobulated. What a super word that is, isn't it? So there are my feelings for this next part of the chapter. So now I'm going to go back up to my thoughts. and he was feeling scared. He was feeling petrified. So maybe he's thinking, how am I going to get out of here? You might just be thinking that, mightn't he? How am I going to get out? I think I'd be thinking that too, year 3. Let's pop that one up there. Another one. He might be thinking, ow, that really hurt. So switch this one over here. What else could he be thinking? Where am I? Okay, so there's 3 different thoughts in there. You might be able to squeeze a few more in than what I've been able to. So let's go all the way down to our next part. There we go. Let's have a look at our 3rd section now in the story. So Stanley meets Flig. He was sat down, huddled up in the corner behind a large rock. Flig has wavy hair, minimal clothing, and he's very mucky. His face looks as though it hasn't been washed. So what we're going to do now, let's have an idea. Let's have a think about the different thoughts and the feelings he might be thinking now. So I'm going to go straight onto my thoughts. You can do them a little bit backwards. It doesn't really matter. So his thoughts, he might be thinking, who are you? Who are you? Or who is this strange man? Because we don't know, do we? He might also still be thinking, how am I going to get out of here? Because he might still be panicking. He might be thinking, will I survive? Because he might be panicking, thinking that he's not going to survive, mightn't he? So there's just some ideas. There'll be lots and lots of different ideas, so please use your imaginations to really build up those thoughts and feelings. Right, the last part, the feelings. Now, how do you think he'll be feeling in this part? He might be feeling a little bit worried because he's with a strange person. He's never met this person before. And I think that's normal. He might be feeling a little bit nervous. Remember when we had our first day at school, we didn't really know what was going to happen. And we had those butterflies in our belly, didn't we? So worried, nervous. He might be feeling quite grateful because he survived the fall, didn't he? Any other ideas, year 3? He might be feeling a little bit hurt, and I'm going to put in brackets here, injured, because when you're hurt, it really does, you feel pain, don't you? So injured, he might have hurt his foot or his arm, anything in the tumble, or she, should I say. Any other feelings? He might be slightly concerned in the sense that he doesn't know how he's going to get out. He doesn't know whether he'll see his auntie again. There's lots of different feelings, lots of different thoughts that you can incorporate into this. So you don't necessarily need to do a big heart or a big thought bubble. You could just do a little one in the corner of the page like you did with the circles the other day and write all these words next to it. Now remember, we're not doing it for the 5 parts of the story. We're just doing it for the first 3. Okay. Any problems, year 3, please send me a message on Class Dojo and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. See you soon. Bye-bye.